Hey everyone, good evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Darrell Winninger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center. Now today, it has been much cooler. Temperatures have been running well below average for this time of the year, and there's been some shower activity, and all of this is helping firefighting weather conditions as well as helping to clear some of the smoke out of the air that we've had because of the flat fire. Now we're going to do a deep dive in your most reliable forecast, looking at details about the flat fire, and we're going to do that first. Starting off with some cameras across Central Oregon. It's a little bit of haze, a little bit of smoke, and a whole lot of cloud cover. Now the sun is shining through the clouds in a few spots, and we don't see too much in the way of rain anymore. That is going to be changing during the next couple of days as well. This is a view of several of the Oregon Hazards Lab cameras that we've been using a lot through this weekend and late last week as a flat fire got started. These really have been pointing in the direction of the flat fire, but as of right now, there's a couple things we see and a couple things we don't see. What we do see is some haze, some smoke still lingering over parts of the Pacific Northwest and really the high desert. We don't see much in the way of showers, and we don't see any of the smoke plumes. In fact, we only have just a little bit of smoke from that Hinkle Butte camera, which is looking to the east and southeast of Hinkle Butte, and it does show that there is some smoke out there. But outside of that, it's actually been a little bit better. We've had some better air quality today, and some of those showers, actually the showers have been the main reason that we've had the better air quality. Meanwhile, when we go ahead and look at the fire perimeter map, what we're seeing is that there are still several hot spots. Some of those hot spots near Crooked River Ranch, or well to the west of Crooked River Ranch, I should say, between Whitechoose Creek and Deschutes River. And the most activity has been happening in the southwestern flank of this, which is just to the north of Cloverdale. Currently, winds are coming out of the west, and that's pushing some smoke through other parts of the Tri-County area. And we'll look at some air quality conditions here in a few minutes. Really just want to focus on the fire. And focusing just on Jefferson County, we still see some of those hot spots close to the perimeter and a little further to the west of the actual perimeter of where it sits, and a little bit more on the back side. So let's go move over there. Hinkle Butte is located right there where you see the label, okay? And the fire was burning to the east to west, south of Hinkle Butte during the last couple of days, and then north of Hinkle Butte to the northeast, we have an active spot as well where there are several hot spots. Now, these specific hot spots are coming from satellite imagery. They're derived from satellite imagery, and that data might be 4 to 6 hours old. So when we get new ones come in, that'll help us really see when and where it affected us when it comes to the rain that we had earlier today. One thing that has been changing quite a bit is our evacuation zone map. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to that. This is the full view of the evacuation zone map, and there have been several changes in both Jefferson County and Deschutes County. So let's go ahead and start off with Jefferson County. One of those changes was around Crooked River Ranch. Most of CRR was in a level 1 be ready evacuation zone. That has been trimmed back quite a bit. Now there's still a level 2 for the northern parts of Crooked River Ranch, and all of these zones right here. It looks like it's one big zone, but it has been cut down from several other ones. And outside of that, we've had a little bit of change on the other side of the map, where the northern half of LBC 6, I want to say, was dropped off completely, and south of that, we've had a few changes when it comes to what's level 1 and what's level 2. The level 3 go now has not changed at all. Moving down into Deschutes County, there were some changes on the southern edge of this, as well as a little bit on the east, but let's go ahead and dive in a little bit more. What we saw was this zone right here, just to the west of Cloverdale, was actually cut horizontally, and the southern half of that, or the southern third of that I should say, was downgraded to level 2. In fact, everywhere along the 126 corridor from just outside of Sisters through Cloverdale and a little bit further to the east is at a level 2 B-set evacuation. That's definitely good news, because parts of that were a level 3 go now evacuation, and that has been trimmed down quite a bit. So we're going to move on, go ahead and look at our air quality. Now, right now, what we're showing you is, what I'm showing you, pardon me, is a blend graphic. It shows where the perimeter is, it shows where those hot spots are. It also shows the base map is the DEQ combined hourly average, and it shows through most of the Tri-County area we're good to moderate air quality. The little dots are the eSpace real-time sensors, and most of them are yellow or moderate air quality. There's one in Prineville that's green or good air quality, and there's one on the west side of Redmond that is orange or unhealthy for sensitive groups. And we're going to see continued fluctuation when it comes to air quality through the next couple of hours, especially as winds stay at a light breeze. But we have three different networks of air quality monitoring stations, and the third one is the purple air. And through the Greater Bend area, going all the way up through Sisters and even down the 97 corridor to La Pine, we have mostly yellow or moderate air quality. A couple of those sensors are getting close to unhealthy for sensitive groups, but in Redmond over to Prineville, we have unhealthy for sensitive groups, and a few of those are getting close to red or unhealthy air quality, especially in the greater Redmond area. That's the first place that's going to catch some of this smoke. Further up to the north around Lake Billy Chinook, going through Madras and even up through Maupin, we mostly have moderate air quality. And so you can see that smoke plume coming just north of Redmond, right over to Prineville. That's what that's indicative of. Now tonight we catch a little bit more smoke, and then a lot of this starts to settle as temperatures begin to fall, and we are looking at more reduced to unhealthy or poor air quality, which is categorized as unhealthy or worse. And so that is expected as we go forward. Meanwhile, today, we've had scattered showers, and most of the rain pushed through early today. We're talking, hold on, let me get rid of that trough real quick, because it's not necessary and it's pretty much just covering everything up. So that has been gotten rid of. Let's try this one again. Now let's look at satellite and radar, except it's taking a little too long to load up. There we go. Okay, so satellite and radar does show that there have been some light showers in the last couple of hours working over the flat fire perimeter and where some of those hot spots are. This is definitely good. We had a lot more rain earlier today. Now, one cell that I've been continuing to track is this one over southern Crook County, came through southeastern Deschutes County, and it has been producing some lightning strikes, but it hasn't been abundant lightning. So let's go ahead and just look at 24-hour rain totals and where there's been some lightning. I also took the liberty of throwing the flat fire information on this map as well. So south of Paulina, we've had a total of 31 lightning strikes. Getting over to where the fire is, we've actually seen quite a bit of rain over this fire. And I'm going to go ahead and open this graphic up, and we're going to take a closer look at it. What I'm going to do is I can pixel query data with this. So I'm going to open that up and pick a couple spots on the map. Okay, it is not letting me do that. Let me try that one more time. Okay, so we are set to the correct token. We're going to pick locations. Okay, there we go. So we've gotten some totals across that area, and it's just not showing up much at all. So where it's less than 1/10 of an inch, it doesn't really show up. That's the problem that I was running into. But we've had 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch in some locations across parts of that area. And so that's definitely good news. It's just not really reflecting it here when I'm trying to click the button. So I tried to do something fancy for you. It didn't really work out. That's okay. And we are going to go ahead and move on. But we have been getting some showers. Hopefully that's been enough to help conditions out there. But also between Redmond, Sisters, and Madras, this is where the flat fire is, our relative humidity has been quite a bit higher than it has the last several days. Now ultimately we would like to see that relative humidity a lot higher, but we're still very dry outside of where we've been getting the rain. Now let's talk about smoke, because this fire continues to put up smoke little by little. That continues through the rest of this evening, and then overnight we see that smoke settle. The reason the smoke is going to settle is it all comes down to temperature. When you heat up a lot, the atmosphere above the surface actually rises. And hotter temperatures expand, cooler temperatures contract. And what that means for us is that as we cool down through this evening and tonight, it will get cooler. Therefore, that smoke is going to be settling throughout parts of the high desert. And then through the day tomorrow, we really don't see relief unless some showers develop once again that help to scrub the smoke out of the air. Now, satellite and radar once again does show that there have been showers across the high desert and really across the Pacific Northwest with some thunderstorms. Most of those thunderstorms over south southeastern Oregon, a little bit over south central Oregon, and we've had this single cell that's been moving through parts of Crook County. But when it comes to infrared satellite imagery, I threw an enhancement on this one to really pull out those taller clouds. Now there is a very big low pressure system out over the Pacific Ocean. In between that and us, we have really tight pressure gradients, which is indicative of strong winds. But when we dive in closer and take a closer look at this, we really don't see those very high towering cumulonimbus clouds over the high desert, except for where we have that single thunderstorm. So there have been some breaks in the clouds, periods of clearing, if you will, across central Oregon through the last couple of hours. But when we look at the bigger picture and shift it over the Pacific Ocean, let me set the north straight. There we go. There is that low pressure that I was talking about with a cold front stretched south over the Pacific Ocean. Right here, in the southern part of that cold front, this is the area that we're tracking because it looks like a low is developing on the south side of that cold front that could be impacting us after this ridge of high pressure gives way to it, which won't be until next week. Meanwhile, when it comes to water vapor, which shows the amount of moisture that's in the atmosphere, not necessarily if it's raining or if it's super muggy, but just how much moisture is in the atmosphere, we do have a dry slot over the high desert. That's partially why we saw those showers fizzle out earlier, and there's still going to be a chance later on during the next couple of days. So when it comes to our forecast model, this is the high resolution one. It is showing that overnight we have a lot of clouds. Some showers are expected. I'm going to open this graphic up and scrub through it so we can really take our time and see what's going to happen. So after midnight, a few sprinkles are possible, but not much. After 7 a.m., some light showers are possible, not nearly as much as we had today. After noon, we start to see some thunderstorm activity developing, especially over the Cascades of central and southern Oregon. If this thunderstorm activity really takes shape, some of it could come into our lower elevations, but for the most part, we're just looking at some showers, a few sprinkles, and by the afternoon and evening, that's when we could catch a thunderstorm similar to the one that's just south of Paulina right now. Through the Tuesday night, some light showers are still going to be possible, but by Wednesday, we're going to start the clock at 6 a.m. and move forward. And it shows some showers are indeed expected with a chance of some thunderstorms through the rest of the day. Now, let's talk temperatures. Today, we had a broad range in temperatures. Some of these are holdovers from 24 hours ago, and to be very clear with you, that 100 degrees in Warm Springs did not happen today. This is high temperatures in the last 24 hours. Some of us did get some 70s out there, and when we look at current conditions, we have 70s mostly. There are some 60s on the map, and it is 83 in Warm Springs and 80 in Paulina. Where we have those 80s, that's where we have a little bit more heat content. So in Paulina, that thunderstorm activity could be affecting some folks out there. I know Paulina is not the biggest place in the world, but it is on the map. It is in our viewing area, and just know that there's a thunderstorm in your vicinity. But look at this. Temperatures in the last 24 hours. We are running between 7 and 15 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday. That's a huge drop in temperatures. At times today, it was actually 10 to 20 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago. Now, in the next several hours, temperatures gradually cool down. Tonight will be mild. Those mild conditions aren't going to help the firefighters much at all. It would be nicer if it was cooler, which means relative humidity would be higher, but that is not the case. By tomorrow, we're back through the 70s, reaching into the 80s. Now, some 70s and a few 90s are going to be possible. Those outliers all depend on where we actually get more heating because of additional sunshine, but we're keeping a whole lot of cloud cover tomorrow, and our UV intensity forecast shows that we're looking at 80s with periods of clearing. Moderate UV intensity, and that's just going to be up and down through the next couple of days because of the in and out clouds we're expecting and chances of rain. Now, this graphic actually had stuff on it earlier when I built this show, but right now a lot of it's cleared out. It looks like about an hour ago, the National Weather Service, an hour ago as of this recording, the National Weather Service canceled the red flag warning, which was totally acceptable because we were getting that rain pushing through the high desert, really helping to soak not really soak, but dampen the surface fuels. To our north, there is a heat advisory, it looks like, and to our southeast, there's a flash flood watch we're also continuing to track, and it does look like the air quality alert from the DEQ was expired as well, or canceled. Not quite sure, I'll look into that. But through the next couple of days, we have roller coaster temperatures. By Thursday and Friday, more sunshine, more warming, but it doesn't stay too hot for too long. We're back down to near average by Saturday, and a few more showers are going to be possible. Our forecast model has, this is the one I typically use on air, and this is the one that we're really going to show you what's going to happen during the next couple of days past that high resolution model. First up, we have that system that's out over the Pacific Ocean, that area of low pressure that's developing, the area of low pressure that's over the Pacific Northwest, and a big ridge of high pressure between all of that happening. So through the next couple of days, we keep this low over the Pacific Northwest. That's what's going to bring the unsettled weather pattern. That's what's keeping that chance of rain each day in the forecast, but also we are looking at periods of clearing. There will be a potential for some thunderstorms between now and Wednesday at 11 p.m., and some of us get wet. Some of us just get some sprinkles. Others could stay dry. By Thursday, we start to clear out, and that extra sunshine will lead to a big warming trend. Now, let's take it past that and look at the extended forecast model. This is the GFS. It's a U.S. forecast model that is lower in resolution, but it goes out further, so it helps paint a picture of what's going to happen through the second half of the 7-day planner, and sometimes a little bit further. But by Thursday, our low pressure starts to fizzle out. We get back to sunshine Friday. We keep that sunshine with some in and out clouds through Saturday and Sunday. Notice by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, that's when that weak system that's way out over the Pacific Ocean that's developing right now, that's when it finally pushes through. That's what brings the in and out clouds and a low chance of rain. By Monday, sunshine. And this Monday's Labor Day, by the way, so we are looking at a 3-day weekend coming up. Now, our future precipitation now through Wednesday at 11 p.m. shows that most of us are indeed going to get wet. Here's how it plays out. Between now and 7 a.m., some showers out there. And then through the day tomorrow, some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, but that's stretching it. And by Wednesday, we get our chance of showers and thunderstorms working their way through the high desert. So the majority of that is happening on Wednesday. Right now, gusts aren't too bad, between 10 and 20 miles per hour for some, 5 and 15 for others. Actual wind speeds are mostly between 2 and 12 miles per hour. So it is a little breezy in some parts of the high desert, and that's a huge change up from the last couple of days. It doesn't look like winds this evening picked up at all for most of the high desert. By tomorrow evening, we're back to breezy at times through the late afternoon and evening hours. By Wednesday, keeping a light breeze through the day. So for tonight, expect 60s with some 50s out there, a few lingering sprinkles and areas of smoke. We are looking at the potential for some poor air quality. By Tuesday, 80s with a few 90s and a couple 70s expected. And our 7-day planner does show that smoke is staying in the forecast. We keep this daily chance of rain through Wednesday, and temperatures stay near and even a little below average for this time of the year. By Thursday and Friday, we catch our next heating trend. More sunshine is expected through the weekend. Remember, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's when we get those in and out clouds from another week system, and by Labor Day on Monday we reintroduce a chance of some showers, temperatures close to that average high of 85 degrees. So here's a quick recap for you. Our weather headlines for this Monday, August 25th. Rain brought us a break from the heat and smoke. Mild starts and warmer days are on the way, but not until we clear this unsettled weather pattern Tuesday and Wednesday, and there is a chance of thunderstorms both Tuesday and Wednesday. We even had that one light thunderstorm that was working its way through parts of Crook County, mostly eastern Crook County, here this evening. That is the latest in weather. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like it, hit the like button. Either way, join us tonight at 11 o'clock on Central Oregon Daily News. That's ABC and CBS. Well, the latest headlines and your full and most reliable forecast will also have some updates. On the Flat Fire, there is a community meeting that's going on right now. Our own Peyton Thomas is there. He's going to fill you in with the details of that. And if there are any updates to the hot spots, the perimeter, the evacuation zones, any of that, I'll be here at 11. And we'll talk about it then on ABC and CBS. That's it for now. Y'all have a good evening, and we'll see you later.